So let me try to tell the story as well as the author tells it in his book. And there once was a shepherd's boy that was looking after his flock of sheep, and one night he hears a big "Wah!" and he goes and he checks what's happening. And in the dark, as he's approaching his herd, he sees there's a lion. And as he takes aim with his 308 there, he's looking at it, and he remembers one thing that his father said to him. Whenever it's dark, it's difficult to judge the distance. It's much more difficult to judge the distance than when it's light. So aim a little bit higher. And now this is open, there's no scopes or anything, so you have to sort of gauge how far the animal is that you're trying to shoot. And so he aims a little bit higher. And the lion is around the throat of the sheep. And pah! Boom, lion is dead. Rescues the sheep. Well, that specific one obviously he had for lunch the next day. But rescue all the rest of the sheep and the lion is gone. Now, taking out of the picture how brave the boy was to go and hunt a lion that's eating a sheep, the moral of the story, you can almost say, is aim high. It's much more difficult to gauge the distance when it's dark. And this is what the book is about, is to get you to aim high, because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. We make plans as if it's clear as day, but the fact of the matter is it's not clear. Tomorrow is uncertain, and the best thing you can do is to aim a little bit higher. Just quickly want to glance to my left, and I want to make sure that I'm not missing some things. But this is, if there's one thing that you take away from this book, it's to aim high. This is what the preface is all about. So it doesn't matter where you are in life, where you are in your real estate career. There's a Prime Minister of England that said you cannot jump over a big space between two rocks with two small steps. So sometimes you have to plan big and you have to take big leaps when it's necessary. So they also mention that the size of the answers that you get is also depending on the size of the questions that you ask. So if you can ask big questions and difficult questions, and you're willing to struggle a little bit with difficult questions, you're most likely going to get to better answers and to a better position in your life. Just quickly want to go forward and backwards a little bit. Okay, the formula that I talk about is to think big, act bold, and you'll live a much bigger life. And this is what I want you to take away out of this book. I think we can all agree that the future is largely unpredictable. Asking the big questions and seeking the big answers also tend to lead us to achieve our very best level of preparedness. This is now a direct quote out of the big book. I'm trying not to do that as much as possible, but sometimes it's necessary to quote it as I said. Level of preparedness can be financial preparedness. I know that if something goes wrong tomorrow, it will be a year or two. If I lose everything tomorrow, it will be a year or two before I'm basically where I am now. And the reason for that is, while I'm thinking big, I'm also preparing my mind in such a way as to grow faster and bigger. If I were just to take small steps, you would never get anywhere. Now the book is called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and this is the name of the course as well. It's only named that because it's a sort of a clickbaity kind of thing. Nobody buys a book or does a course that says the agent that thinks big. But basically, the course will teach you step by step how to earn $1 million, how to, and then after that, how to receive $1 million passively. But the idea, if you take nothing else away from the book, is how to think big. Now, it seems simple. A simple question that this book asks is, how can you get the most out of your real estate business? Now, it seems like a small question, and it seems like there's simple answers. It's a very complicated question. How can you get the absolute most out of your real estate business? And this whole course aims to answer that question, so you can live a big life with asking these big questions. Right, I'll see you in the next chapter.